Good morning. It's great to be here. When that door opened and this kind of burst of energy came in, it was uplifting. It was people jostling each other and chatting. It was rather like the local newspaper who sent a reporter to interview a lady who reached the age of 105. And the reporter asked her an interesting question. She said, "What's the best thing about being 105 years old?" The old lady thought for a bit, and she said, "The absence of peer group pressure." Again, it's like the National Health District who tried to up the performance of its maternity hospitals. And they had a notice put in the staff room in the maternity ward saying, "The first 2 hours of life are the most dangerous." And someone with more perspective on life written underneath, "The last two are pretty dodgy too." The definition of young brains and old brains. Young brains are open to change, they're future ready, they're positive, innovative, open to people, they love fun and they're high energy. Old brains are defensive, grumpy, anxious, negative, afraid of change, uncreative, and low energy. Young brain companies abound. Innocent Smoothies, Oakley, Google, Virgin, they're all young brain companies. And young brain companies have some massive benefits. They understand society around. They're plugged in to how people feel and react and behave. They're relevant. They tune into demand and opportunities. They're alive. They're innovative. They're on the ball. They're ready to go. Can anybody tell me the biggest selling perfume? No, the biggest selling deodorant for male adolescents in the UK? A brand? Lynx. Perfect. Can anybody tell me the biggest selling perfume for Lynx? Pardon? Chocolate. Chocolate, you think, well, chocolate? Where chocolate came from was that Unilever, who own Lynx, are very big on diversity, and they keep, every month, have major meetings, bring people all around the world, different disciplines, different backgrounds, and put them in a room for a day and just brainstorm. And the guy from Lynx, marketing director, was saying, our biggest problem is that we have done apple, we've done lemon, we've done everything, and we're just batting our brains out, trying to get an interesting new flavor. And the person next to him said, "Have you thought of chocolate?" And the place said, "What? Chocolate?" He said, and the person worked for Magnum ice creams. And they said, "Well, we have research which shows that women go mad for chocolate. They're absolutely crackers about it." If you've seen the advertising, it's the chocolate man going down the street and the women chasing after him, gagging for it. The chocolate, I mean. But this is now the biggest selling perfume in France, England, wherever around the world. And now how the hell, if you set together people working on Lynx together, they would never have come up with chocolate. You've got to have these outside influences bouncing things to make things happen. That's exciting. By and large, as we get older brained and older, we tend to close down and get more stiff upper lipped. And one of the research things that shows this, in fact, is drunkenness among young people and binge drinking, which I must admit I had never understood. My kids did it, and I asked them why, and I couldn't understand it. Because when we were younger, we used to go out on a good evening, and we sometimes, not very often of course, got smashed. But it was a byproduct of a great evening. It wasn't an intention to stoke up early on and get smashed. And what the research shows, the reason they do this, which is very interesting, is that they want to show trust to their friends. They want to be emotionally vulnerable and totally naked before them, and to show how much they trust each other. So I would challenge you on this, because it's such an important issue, to do what I would call the 24-hour challenge. When I speak badly of somebody, that person is diminished because I've spoken badly of them. This person here I'm speaking is also diminished because they've heard bad things and they're reduced by it. I am diminished because what am I going to say about them when they're out of the room? So there's three people who are diminished. You think well of them, all three are raised up. Now for 24 hours, don't speak ill of anybody. No gossip, nothing negative at all. And every time you find yourself saying something negative, go back and start 24 hours again. And when you can do that, do a week. When you can do a week, do a month. Now, all of you at some point had a dream. And that is crucial because that's what gets the passion going. It's the focus. People buy into it and lead. Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." He didn't say, "I have a 3-year plan." I mean, 3-year plans are very boring. Dreams are exciting, people can buy into them, they can bring their hearts to work. The whole thing about SMEs and innovative companies and entrepreneurs is that you can actually get people to bring their hearts to work as well as their brains and their hands. You can get passion going, and that's crucial. So daring to dream is one of the basics of that. And if you ever met a mountaineer, they are a weird race. And they have this test whereby they hang on by one finger to see how long they hang on for. And it's usually between about 5 and 8 minutes, depending how good they are. But what they also do is to do negative and positive. And you've got to remember that mountaineers are the most strong-minded people you'll ever meet, because they know the figures, 80% of accidents fall when you're coming down the mountain. They know the terror of getting caught in a storm and they want to fall off. And it's the most mentally challenging thing you can imagine. So these guys are tough mentally. And if you do, these guys holding on, if you say yes, 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 you can do it, you're hanging on, you stay, they will go between 20 and 30 seconds longer than if you don't. And if you say, no, you're falling off, you're weakening, between 20 and 30 seconds, shorter time. Now, those guys who are trained to put out everything from their mind while they're mountaineering are influenced by positive or negative to that extent, it doesn't half show what the rest of us are influenced by. You can never relax and say, I'm a young brain company. I mean, all the young brain companies work incredibly hard at it. Google does, Innocent does, Virgin does, they all do. Because you've got to keep reinventing yourself. You cannot pause for breath ever. It is, I'm serious about this, don't ever congratulate yourself for being young brain. What you can do, pat yourself on the back quickly, but then move on and say, how do we keep young brain and get even more young brain?